AzureSpot Q offers several different options for adjusting the way you visualize your images. This can be to help make a pretty picture for publication, or even just to adjust your image to make it easier to visualize different regions of interest for analysis. Within the contrast module, you have the ability to adjust the black and white values of your image. So if I want to make my background a little blacker in this case and my bands a little brighter, I can adjust that here. You can also use the gamma to adjust that contrast. Or if you want the software to do the thinking for you, there is auto contrast. I happen to like my backgrounds darker, so I am going to make those adjustments to make my background a little darker and my bands a little bit brighter. If, for example, you would like to visualize your bands as black and your background as white, or vice versa, and that is not the way your image is appearing, you can invert the appearance of your image. So I can get my bands to be black and my background to be white, or I can invert it. Any adjustments you make to your image in AzureSpot Q only affect the way that you are visualizing the image. It doesn't affect your data in any way. It's just changing the appearance of your image. Also here in the contrast menu, we have the saturation detection. When you select saturation detection, any saturated pixels within your image will highlight as red. In this case, we have no saturated pixels, and so we see no red spots. When you have a multi-channel image, you'll also see the different channels of your image available in the contrast menu. Unchecking the box below a specific color channel allows you to exclude that channel from adjustment while still visualizing the channel in the image itself. So by unchecking blue, I can adjust my image without affecting the levels of the blue channel. If I would like to exclude the blue channel in this case from the visualization of the image, I can check the blue circle and the blue channel is no longer visualized. This allows me to adjust channels individually if I believe they need individual adjustments, which can be helpful when you have different channels that are stronger or weaker than the others in your image. If I want to turn on and off all channels at once, there is the multi-channel button on the far right. With multi-channel images, saturation detection also works to detect any saturated pixels within your image, except instead of red, it will highlight saturated pixels in pink. Going back to our single channel image, in this case, this gel is really small compared to the imaging area, so I would like to crop this image. I can do that by selecting my ROI and adjusting my green box to be around the area that I would like. Now I can select crop and crop my image. This gel is also placed a little bit crooked, so I have the ability to adjust the orientation of my gel a little bit. If my gel had been completely sideways, I can rotate it 90 degrees left or right, or in this case, since it's just slightly off, I am going to rotate using the arbitrary rotate tool. From within the arbitrary rotate tool, I can rotate my image to the right or to the left by sliding the button to the right or to the left. I can also zoom in on my image if it helps me to align a little bit better. And once I'm happy with my image, I can select apply and my image will be rotated. Within this tool, you also have the ability to flip your image horizontally or flip it vertically. When you're happy with your image, you can save the file as a publication file here. And those are the options for adjusting the way you view your image in AzureSpot Q.